Hey everyone, welcome back to another reflection on the New City Catechism. This week we are continuing a discussion on creation that we kind of started last week when we asked why and how God created us and saw that the answer is that God created us, male and female, in His own image to know Him, love Him, live with Him, and glorify Him. This week we are asking question number 5, which is, what else did God create? Here's the answer. God created all things by His powerful word, and all His creation was very good. Everything flourished under His loving rule. Okay, maybe that answers a little bit more than just the question, but it's all good stuff for us to remember. It's good for us to remember that God created all things, from the smallest molecule in this world to the largest, most distant galaxy we can imagine. God created it all. This last year, the James Webb Telescope produced some of the farthest reaching and most detailed images of the observable universe that scientists have ever been able to capture. I don't know if you've seen those, but I've been told those images are pretty awe-inspiring. They give a real sense of the scope of the universe. And it's important to recognize that universe didn't just happen. It's not an accident. That everything that exists because of God and because of His deliberate, intentional, purposeful action. Thinking about that fact when we think about the scope of the universe and the detail of the universe, the big and the small, it should give us a fresh appreciation for His power and should cause us to think about our place in this world a little bit differently. So it's good to remember that He created all things, and that He created all things by His powerful word. That doesn't just mean God spoke the universe into existence, which in and of itself is impressive enough, but it means more than that. In the Gospel of John, we're told that indeed all things were created through the Word of God. And then we're told that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us in the person of Jesus Christ. You see, saying that the universe was created by His powerful Word reminds us how central Jesus is. That Jesus created it all. That it's all made by Him, through Him, for Him. And then He came to dwell in the world that He created in order to save it. It's good for us to remember that all of God's creation was very good. That's what God Himself says in Genesis chapter 1 after He finishes the work of creation. He says that what He had made was very good. And it's good to remember that everything flourished under His loving rule. That reminds us that God does, in fact, have a good plan, a good purpose, that He has a design for this world, and His design is the best that things could possibly be. Sometimes I think we imagine our design is better, that we can be trusted to figure out the best way to do things, or even that we have a better idea of how to run this world than God, than what He's revealed in His Word. But ultimately, all the problems in our world are the result of us trying to make the rules. But when God's rules are enforced, when the universe is lived in and operated in according to His plan, then things are very good. It's another reason for us to seek to submit our lives to His authority, to live in obedience to Him, because God does indeed have a good plan and purpose and design, and when we live in line with that plan and purpose and design, we experience more of the goodness that He has in store for us and for this world. That's what we're reminded of when we confess that God created all things by His powerful word, and that all His creation was very good, that everything flourished under His loving rule. That's all for now. As always, if you have questions, comments, if this made you think of something you want to explore more deeply, let me know. Leave a comment on the video, and we'll be back next week with more content from the New City Catechism. And of course, we'd love for you to join us Sunday morning in person or online if you don't live in the area, as we seek to know God better and to understand and obey His word more faithfully. Bye for now.